Hello, friend, and welcome back to the Alex Makes VR podcast. In today's episode, it's day number 3 of my 10-day challenge, where every single day I'm releasing a podcast in the hopes that I encourage you to take 5 minutes for the next few days to make progress towards something that you want to achieve. To take 5 minutes to do something that you've been saying you wanted to do all year and you've just not found the time for it. It's been a crazy year. No one blames you. But the year's not over. You can spend 5 minutes working on being the kind of person that you want to be. You can take 5 minutes on the bog, for all I care, to do something, whether it's sitting in silence because all year has been chaos and you just need a mindfulness practice, or you want to take 5 minutes to just think because you can't think straight. 5 minutes to write 5 minutes of script. 5 minutes to research that audience that you really want to tap into for your next project. 5 minutes to watch a YouTube video about how to boot up Unity. Whatever it is, take 5 minutes today and feel proud of yourself for doing those 5 minutes. Let me know what they are. Let me know what your challenge is. Obviously, mine is releasing a podcast daily, but let me know what you're up to. You can let me know over on social media. It's Alex Makes VR on Instagram and Twitter. Although I don't necessarily need to hear if you're doing it on the bog. But, you know, if you're an oversharer like me, then go for it. In today's episode, though, day number 3, I want to talk about expectations. Expectations. Ooh, they're a killer. Ooh, they're gonna get you. If you don't get those expectations in check, you are going to have a very unhappy life, my friend. It took me a long time to realize that expectations were the root evil of everything in my life. The expectations that I had of what a project should look like, the expectations I had of how people should pay attention to what I was doing, the expectations I had of friends to be there for me at certain times, the expectations that I had of clients to respond to emails faster, the expectations that I had of myself, of what I wanted to achieve, expectations that society puts on you. All expectations. They are not helpful. Someone emailed me the other day about feeling very frustrated because they'd sent out their brilliant templated email, if I don't say so myself, because it was based on a template that I had given out in episode number 2 of the podcast. You can go check that out. And they'd sent this email out, and even though they'd sent it out to 20 people, they'd only received 5 replies. Only 5 out of 20. God, what are all these other 15 people doing? Don't they know that I'm a very important person they should be responding to? Don't they know that I want money from them and they should be giving it to me? What's wrong with these people? How wild. I mean, I did reply to this person and tell them that they were being ridiculous, so don't worry. It's not like this podcast episode is going to come to as a shock to them to hear. I was like, firstly, let's focus on the fact that 5 people responded. 5 out of 20? That's 25%. That's a huge achievement. That's massive. No other marketing that you could do would have that kind of rate. So you must have been doing something right. You must have got your target audience right. You must have got your title right. 25%, that's huge. People that don't even know you. How often do you open a random email from someone trying to sell you services and actually reply to it? 5 people, that's amazing. 5 times, that's 5 opportunities for you to win business. That's 5 opportunities for you to help a company during a really bad time. That's 5 opportunities for you to show up and do amazing work and get referrals in the long term. That's 5 opportunities for you to change your life. Only 5. Only 5. Can't believe it. What are those other 15 up to? How about trying to keep the lights on in their business? How about gone to spam and they don't check their spam? Because who checks their spam? I check my spam, actually, just to be very truthful. I check my spam every single day because so many of my important emails over the last 4 years of building a company have gone to spam. So just FYI, do check your spam occasionally, guys. Maybe it's gone to spam though. And maybe they don't have the time. Maybe they're too busy working out, how to apply for a loan to the bank to keep the doors open, or maybe they're having a really tough time and they're having to let an employee go. But maybe not even that. Maybe they're doing amazing. Maybe this is actually picked up for them and it's the biggest time. Maybe they are focusing on expanding the team. Maybe they've had to replace someone who's left for another job. Like, you have absolutely no idea what's going on in those 15 people's lives. Why should you have the expectation that they should reply to you? If you can live your life without expectation, if you can go into a job interview without the expectation of getting the job, you might want the job, but without expecting to get it. If you can go into a client scenario and pitch them your services without any expectation that they should buy your services, if you can go into any situation with a friend. The biggest one is when friends come at me for not replying to messages sooner, and I'm like, why do you have expectations of me? I have no expectations of you. It makes me laugh when friends apologize for taking a week to reply. I'm like, mate, take as long as you want. I have no expectations of you. If you can get everything in your life into balance where you have no expectations of anyone and they have no expectations of you, oh, friends, you are going to live such a happy life. And don't get me wrong, I'm not a Buddhist. I'm not claiming to be the best at this. I'm not claiming that I don't ever let my expectations creep in. But the key is to recognize it. The key is to stop them in their tracks. Why am I annoyed? Why am I in a bad mood after I've ordered this curry? Why am I in a bad mood? You know what? It's because I had this expectation of wanting a really nice takeaway curry, and this is actually a bit naff. But that's not, that's no reason to be in an arse for the rest of the night, is it? There's no reason to get upset. There's no reason to waste 10 minutes of my life sulking about the fact that I've spent £10 on a naff curry. You know what I mean? All of a sudden, when you start to realise how ridiculous it is to have expectations, especially when they involve other people with their own lives. How ridiculous is it that you would then mandate that your life and your needs are more important than their own? Because the truth is, you also are the centre of your own universe. So why would you expect to be the centre of someone else's? This applies to everything in life, but specifically make sure that you're keeping your expectations in check when it comes to business. Because if you can go into a situation genuinely without expectations, then you are not going to fall into the trap of hard selling, of being pushy, of being overly arrogant. It makes me laugh so much whenever I'm in a networking situation and I can you just can smell the desperation coming off people that are pitching desperately, and they'd hammer over the head telling you all their experience, and they're desperately trying to really make a sale. And you're like, listen, mate, I was never going to be the person to buy your services, because I'm actually if you took a second to chat to me, you'd understand that I'm not in the market for what you're selling. I have no interest in, paying for your dog bones because I don't own a dog. Do you know what I mean? This is getting out of hand, these analogies. I'm sorry. I hope that you've enjoyed them because they've been all over the place. But if you can go into a situation with a client and have no expectations, just be like, look, I'm just genuinely curious if my services can help you. I'm genuinely curious if my, social media skills could help you get more customers, but absolutely no worries. If you've got other priorities, that's not a problem. How great is it when a friend goes, hey, I would love if you would come for this, dinner tonight. you're more than welcome. But absolutely no worries. There's absolutely no pressure. I appreciate that it's last minute and, it might not be your cup of tea. And also it's a tough time. You might not have the money for it. If you can put yourself in that mindset every time you go into a client situation, you are going to be so much more better off. Okay, I'm going to stop there because I feel like you've got the gist, and these 5-minute episodes are quickly turning into just normal podcast episodes, which I was trying to steer away from, but I hope you're enjoying them. Reach out to me and let me know, by the way, if you're enjoying the series so far. Expectations, don't let them get hold of you. Please try your hardest to not let expectations murder your soul, because they really can. And I see so many people fall into this trap, and I just think you're destined to be unhappy if you let expectations of other people control your life, because it's just never going to be good, and especially it's like I watched Parasite last night, the film that won the Oscar last year, and absolutely fantastic film. And there's this really sad bit where the dad kind of talks about having no plan is better than having a plan, because plans always go wrong, and so it's better to not have a plan, because then you can't be disappointed, it can't go wrong, can't be disheartened. And I'm not suggesting that you don't have a plan, but have a plan knowing that if your plan depends on other people, that you should not be devastated if it doesn't work out, because the truth is you just can't ever have expectations of other people, because you have no idea what's going on in their lives. Okay, stopping there. I love you all so much. Thank you so much for taking the time to listen to these episodes. And like I said, let me know what you're up to for the next few days on this 10-day challenge. And I'll speak to you tomorrow.